read, please.
Plastic pollution. When people think about plastic, they may think of lots of everyday objects that make your lives easier. Food containers, toys, and gadgets, and even the pipe that carry water to and from our homes. In fact, plastic is so popular in the UK today that it is almost impossible to imagine life without it.
Yeah, cool. Perfect. Thank you very much, Bill. Minnie, please.
However, while plastic makes human lives easier, it makes the lives of Britain's wildlife much harder, and it could be endangering the existence of some of our much loved creatures.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. Minnie, please read Plastics and the Environment.
There are many different ways that plastic can enter the environment. Not disposing it properly, which is, for example, littering, wash down drains from face washes and clothing spilled overboard by ships, escaped from factories and warehouses, blown out of bins or landfills by the wind, and abandoned, for example, fishing nets.
Yeah, so much plastic enters the environment each year that it can be found in fresh water, soil, air, and oceans around the world. Recently, it has been found inside people. Microplastics has been found inside people, which is very sad. Kent, please read The Problem with Plastic.
Wait a minute, because my computer has something wrong. Plastic pollution or the problem with plastic.
The problem with plastic.
Most types of plastic are neither
Biodegradable.
biodegradable nor compostable. Therefore, any plastic that ends up in the local environment with no breakdown over time, like it does with paper, food peel, or natural fabric. Plastic will simply remain where it is forever unless it is removed by human or mistakenly consumed by wildlife.
Okay, cool. Who can tell me what does biodegradable mean? Elsa, what does biodegradable mean?
Biodegradable means able to decay naturally.
Say again.
Able to be decay naturally and is not.
Yes, okay, to be able to decay naturally. Cool, good job. Jenny, what does compostable mean?
It is able to be left together to use for plants or things.
Yep, cool, good job. What does consumed mean? Consumed by wildlife. What does that mean?
It's eaten by.
Yeah, eaten by, right? And think about it like this. If one animal eats plastics, is the next animal that eats that animal going to eat plastics as well? Yes. What if it's a person? What if a pig eats some plastic and we then eat the pig? That's not good. Okay. Midday, please read from A Huge Problem with the Plastic That Ends.
A huge problem with the plastic that ends up in the environment is the chemicals it releases. Over time, the pieces of plastic litter will break into smaller pieces. When plastic breaks into microplastics, it is eaten by wildlife that mistake it for food.
Yep, this happens all the time. It's very, very sad. Fraser, please read Scarily. Fraser, I ask you to read, please. Scarily, these microplastics.
Microplastics. Scarily.
Scarily, these
These
microplastics.
microplastics contain toxic chemicals and heavy metals, poisonous
and deadly to local wildlife. These make their way into the food chain, affecting not only animals but aid the plants to consume the first animal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm going to read through the rest of it. Threats to wildlife. The largest threats to wildlife from plastic waste in the environment are death or injury caused by becoming tangled in plastic waste. For example, birds that get trapped in fishing nets or plastic can holders. Animals eating plastic waste by mistake, thinking that it is food. For example, some birds eat plastic bags that float in the pond because they think they are fish. Poisoning from chemicals within the plastic that can lead to illness or death. These things are very, very common. I've shown you the picture before of the whale completely full of plastic before. Now, I'm not going to talk about how we can help because that's the point of your project. Go through these words in a little bit more detail. Biodegradable, something that can be naturally broken down by bacteria, something that is naturally broken down. Compostable, something which is biodegradable and that can help support the growth of plants. Endanger, put something at risk or to threaten. Microplastics, very small plastics, toxic, poisonous, or harmful. Okay, so let's go through these questions together very, very quickly. So question number 1, Monkey. Which of these is not a way that plastic enters the environment?
Being dug up from the ground.
Yeah, plastic does not exist underground unless you put it underground. I don't think anyone has turned around and said, hey, let's go get that plastic. I left it under the ground. Pizza. Question number 3. What are two items that the text implies will break down over time? What are 2 things that the text says?
Paper and fruit peel.
Yeah.
Natural fabric.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Question number 4. It could be endangering. Which word or phrase could be used instead of endanger? Minerva. What word can we use instead of endanger? Yeah, threaten works perfectly fine. Good job, threaten. Ming Cho, do not draw on my screen. You draw on my screen, I'll remove you from the classroom. Find and copy one adjective from the section entitled "The Problem with Plastics" that describes the chemicals found in microplastics. Ming Cho.
Miss.
Tell me one word that is used to describe chemicals in microplastics.
Toxic.
Yeah, toxic works perfectly fine. Summarize the section entitled "Threats to Wildlife" in 30 words or less. Let's have a look at some people's answers.
Mr.
Pete, can you read your answer for us, please, wherever you are? Or P is not here today.
Yes.
There you go. Pete, read your answer, please.
Plastic waste can be very dangerous to the animals and creatures in the nature. They can be tangled or stuck in plastic, and they can slowly die. They can also eat the plastic because it looks like food and die. The last example is when they get poison from the chemicals inside the plastic. And plastic can cause them to illness and die. We should not throw trash in the road to help the animal.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Go, Sky. Okay. Okay, Sky, your internet is lagging.
About the largest threats of plastic.
Sorry, Sky, I found it very difficult to hear you there. Who's this? Pencil did not answer most of the questions. Okay. Also, James, put your camera on.
Yes.
Read your answer, please.
Which question?
This one. Summarize the section. I have it highlighted for you. This is your answer.
The largest threat to wildlife caused by tangled in plastic and microplastic releasing
harmful chemicals and killing the animals eating plastic and mistaking them for foods and die.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Let's have one more. There's Ava's. Who literally did hers this morning at 9:22 when we were in class. Thanks for that. Laura, can you read your answer, please? Laura, can you read your answer, please?
While the benefits of plastic is that they're very useful
Yes, that's yours.
for our human lives, but the effect isn't worth it. Now billions of small plastic pieces got into the environment, which got into humans' needs and the animals who mistaken it for food. Through this waste problem, Though this waste problem is a very big threat to humans, animals, people don't really think and care about it. We all need to help change the environment before it's all too late.
Oh, that's a really good answer. Okay, I'll go through your answers from your homework and I'll leave comments as well. Eva, please remember for a fact that I can see the time in which it's been sent. You sending in the homework at 9:22, which means you were doing it not only for class and not at home. You are at home, but you're literally doing it in my classroom, which is not really acceptable. Okay, so I want to talk about a few things. First of all, I want to make sure that you're all on the right track and thinking about this logically. So I want you all to think about what questions are you going to try answer with your project? What are you going to try to answer? Questions. Think about the questions that you will solve with your project or you will try to answer with your project. What kind of questions do you think you will ask? And on Monday, think about what questions are you going to solve? I even gave you answers for this. Yes, Monkey.
How are people in Vietnam trying to get rid of solid waste and especially plastic?
Yeah, cool. How are people trying to get rid of solid waste in Vietnam? Good stuff. Well done. Ken.
How can we wait how can we effect of plastic pollution in Vietnam?
Okay, how
To
can we reduce plastic pollution in Vietnam? Yes, cool, good job. Midday.
How much tons of plastic do Vietnamese people throw away every year?
Okay, yes. A lot of you are answering questions about plastic. Remember, your project is about solid waste. It's about solid waste. So what questions will you try to answer about solid waste? Who can give me some questions about this? Right, okay. As a part of your homework, I'm going to ask you to write down 3 questions that you are each going to try answer in your solid waste project. All of you should be able to say questions. What is solid waste? What's the amount of solid waste that I produce at home? Which is the greatest contributor to waste in Vietnam? How does Vietnam get rid of solid waste? What are some effective ways to get rid of solid waste? These are all simple questions that you should be able to say like this. All of you, for extra homework, all of you need to write down 3 questions about what you're going to try answer in your project about solid waste. Understand? All of you. And tomorrow, I want all of you to be snap, snap, snap straight away. You've got a lot of homework now to do. Right. Okay, so I'm going to give you answers to some of them very, very simply. So what is solid waste? You can tell me what is solid waste? Or what do you think solid waste is? I'm just going to go around the classroom. Easier. Emily, what do you think solid waste is?
I think that solid waste is like the thing that we polluted. That is solid, like trash.
Okay, but like don't get too like wrapped up in the concept of pollution, right? Pollution is when we're adding dangerous things into the environment. We're not doing it automatically just by getting rid of waste. Okay, right. Rosie, what do you think solid waste is?
I think solid waste is the trash or garbage that
Oh, you're on the right track. You're thinking the right way. Okay, you're thinking the right way. Keep going. Keep going. Solid trash or garbage.
that people
Yeah, okay. Look, your answer is really, really close, okay? So the idea of solid waste refers to waste created by animals or humans that is no longer needed by them, okay? It's waste that is not needed, and it is waste that is hard and that is solid, okay? Now, simple like answers are plastic and metal and paper, which you've seen before. Other names for waste are garbage or refuse. Some other words that refer to waste. So solid waste is anything that is no longer needed by people. Anything that you put into a bin. Like yesterday, I decided to organize my socks. So I found 14 socks that did not have any friends, did not have a matching pair, so I threw them away, right? I did not need them anymore. They are now gone. But those socks went directly into the bin, into the waste, into garbage. And because they went into garbage, they are now parts of solid waste, right? That's fabric. Still part of waste, right? So again, it's anything that is no longer needed by people. And we've looked at this before, right? We looked at all the different types of waste that there are. There's organic, which is food. There's paper, plastic, glass, metal, electronic waste, and then mixed waste as well. These are all types of things that people throw away because we no longer need them. And this is what I need you to start thinking about in a bit more detail, because part of your homework tonight is to create a table and to start measuring the waste that is coming from your own home in terms of these particular categories. So I'm going to talk about that now a little bit later, but I'm going to just ask you some questions first. What type of waste do you think is the biggest contributor to overall waste? What do you think is the biggest percentage? And what do you think?
I think it's metal and plastic.
Metal and plastic. Okay. Cool. Monkey.
I think it's plastic.
Plastic. Mid-A.
The solid waste that I think causes the most is plastic and metal.
Plastic and metal. Okay. I'll go around the room. Listen, what do you think the most amount of waste is caused by? Plastic. Ava, what do you think it is?
Could you ask the question again? I can't hear you.
Yes, sure. So what do you think causes the most amount of waste across the world?
Plastic.
Plastic. Sky and pencil. What do you both think? Plastic. Okay. Eraser, what do you think?
Peel.
Peel. What do you mean? Food.
No, the thing that called the fruits.
Yeah, food, right? Organic waste, okay? Food. Right. So if you said metal, you'd be wrong. If you said plastic, you would be wrong. If you said food, you'd be right. The overall waste for the entirety of the world that I looked at, 22% of the overall waste is food. 22% of food is wasted. It's crazy. I actually know this because I'm working on another project outside of school relating to food waste. And I know that the number of the amount of food wasted in Vietnam is actually it's about 60%. 60% of all food made by restaurants or even on the street or even at home is wasted, which is a crazy number, crazy number. So that's a huge number, right? If you can think about that and think about, well, hold on, if food waste is the highest amount of waste that we are creating, how can you reduce that number? That's a really good start for any project. Is how can you reduce that number? What can you do to bring that number down? Okay, we've done this before, and I just want you to think about it in a bit more detail, which is going to give you a bit more understanding to your project too as well, which is, where do plastics come from? You can tell me. We've done this many times. Now, where do plastics come from? No, great, okay. Who have I not spoke to at all today? James, where do plastics come from? No, okay. Emily, where do plastics come from?
Factories? I
Okay.
don't really remember.
You don't remember? Who can remember where
I
do
think
plastics?
it's factories.
Okay, if all of you, very easily, could you all go to the internet and type in, where do plastics come from? Where do plastics come from? And you get your answer. I asked you to do this yesterday. There should be no one sitting there without any answers, because you can research these answers whilst we're in class. Type them into Google and find the answer. Come on, guys. It's simple things I'm asking you to do. So you can tell me by researching it, what's the answer? Laura.
Here
Yeah, no, don't tell me. Tell me what's the answer.
it's made from coal, natural gas, salt, crude oil.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Laura. Right. Now, the second question. Why are plastics so hard to grade? Who's going to look that up? Who's going to find that answer for me?
Mr. Ryan,
Yes.
I looked it up and then they said that plastics are the most common form of marine debris. They can come from a variety of land and ocean-based
Yeah,
sources.
yeah, Emily, thank you.
What?
I don't need to read. I want you to try answer like next question. Why are they so hard to degrade? Why are plastics so hard to degrade? Yes, Laura. Again.
The plastic does not exist in nature, and it's not. So it is very hard to break down.
Not necessarily.
Most plastics in use today are made of polyethylene, terephthalate, or PET for short, and they're nearly indestructible. It's nearly impossible to decompose PET plastic because most bacteria cannot break down. UV light for the sun can break plastic down, but it takes a long time.
Okay, right, cool, good job. Right, reason is because plastics are made out of really strong bonds, strong carbon, strong oxygen, so they're really hard to break down. Cool, good stuff. Right, we're not gonna watch the video at the moment. We're gonna try to get this done. So what I want you to start doing is every day from today, I want you to start measuring the waste in your own home. Okay. So you're gonna need to start measuring the waste. First question is, how are you going to measure what waste is? What will you do? Lucy.
First I will take separate bags to create different parts. One bag for biodegradable waste and plastic waste and metal waste and more
different types of waste in different bags, and then when we have trash, we are going to put it in the bag of that type of waste, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to measure it.
Okay, cool. What are you going to measure it on?
I'm going to weigh it.
Yeah, weigh it on a scales, right? Okay, good job. Perfect answer. So all of you, what you need to be doing is you need to be categorizing your waste, as we showed you here, right? I've showed you here many, many times. Think about the different types of waste that occur in your own home. Organic, paper, plastic, glass, metal, electronic waste, and mixed waste, whatever it is, right? It all exists in your house. What you need to be doing is making sure that your waste is separated into each one of these categories and each one of these subsections so that you can make sure that you're measuring the amount of waste correctly. You need to put them into separate bags. And when you put it into separate bags, you can then measure the waste. Now, don't forget, you need to measure the total too. So even if you have 6 bags and 6 different bags of different weights, so you have one bag which is 2 kilograms, another one which is 2 kilograms, another one which is 2 kilograms, and you have 6 2-kilogram bags, your total weight is 12 kilograms, right? You need to be measuring the total as well as the individual weights too. So here is a quick example. Okay? So, sorry, Mr. Monkey. So here's one I filled out for their class because 5E5 are doing this project too. So here are just some examples of some types of categorization that you can have. You can have plastic, you can have food, you can have paper, you can have metal. You could even have, if you insert another row below, you could have electronic waste or clothes, for example, right? What you need to do is make sure that you measure each one of these separately, okay? So if your plastic is 3 kilograms, your food is 7 kilograms, your paper is 2 kilograms, you have no metal, which is great, and your clothes and your electronics are also 2 kilograms. So that's 3, 10, 12, and 14. So your total weight for that day will be 14 kilograms. Again, you need to do this for day 2. So if day 2 you have 17 kilograms, you have 7 kilograms, you have 5 kilograms, blah, 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 blah. You need to fill this out every single day over the next 2 weeks. So what I want all of you to make sure you do tonight is you need to create your own table. You need to start writing down your results. Now, because you are working in groups, everyone in your group needs to have the same table. You need to be measuring the same things. There's no point one person in a group measuring lots of stuff and everyone else in the group not measuring stuff either, okay? You need to make sure that your tables are the same and that you're measuring the same thing. So you need to agree what you're going to measure together. Do you understand? Everyone understand this concept, right? You need to measure everything together. Yes, Ken?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan,
Yes,
me and James are not using Zoom chat.
okay.
So
Well,
only in my team is only half of Dino and me can have.
Okay. B, James, use Zoom chat.
What? What's Zoom chat?
It's chat
No,
in Zoom.
but
We don't have.
we don't have an email account, and James don't have and James is only a little bit online, only sometime.
Okay.
Because me and James
Stop,
is not
stop, right? These are things that as your group, you need to work out. You need to say, hey guys, we need to have a conversation at.
But we can't talk together because we can't go to schools and we don't have any more internet platforms.
Okay, stop right now. B, James, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, right. B, James, you have just heard what your group is saying. Can you arrange a time to join Zoom? It's quite simple. Arrange a
How
time to
can
join.
I join it?
How can you join it? You send B or send me. I will send B an email with the meeting ID. I'll do the same for James as well.
Okay.
Perfect. There we go. Easy. Is anybody else having this problem? Again, if you're having issues talking to each other, you need to talk about it now and get it resolved. So part of your homework is everyone in your group needs to decide on what your table is going to look like, what you're going to measure, to start measuring from today the waste that you are that is coming from your own home. Understand? Now, everyone has to do this, not just one person in the group. Everyone in the group has to do this themselves, but have to have the same table as everyone else in their group. That makes sense? Yes? Okay.
Mr. Han,
Yes, Ken.
if we research on day 1, does we need to did we need to send the research on day 1 or
No,
we
you
do
just
it
need to
for
you just need to fill out your table, and tomorrow you need to show me that you're filling out your table. Okay. Okay. Right. So your homework is take your tables and begin to start measuring waste from your own homes. Make sure your table is the same as everyone in your group. And I also want you to write down 3 questions you're going to answer in your project as well. Understand? Anyone have any questions about the homework for today?
No.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Again, have questions, you're having problems with your group or connecting to your group, please get in touch with me or Miss Yen. We'll do our best to try to resolve those problems for you, okay?
Mr. Ryan, do you have the homework that can show the student because some of them may want to know the question for the homework right away.
Well, they're gonna get the PowerPoint. I can send you the PowerPoint now, and they can take the PowerPoint from there.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Right. Yes, Lucy, do you have a question?
Do I have to write in the paper or write it on the computer?
It's up to you guys, right? Think about it like this. Like tomorrow, I'm going to take some time to show you all how to make graphs, how to create a graph from data that you put into a spreadsheet. So it's up to you if you want to start putting stuff into the computer on a piece of paper. Just remember that at the end, when you are creating your PowerPoint, you're going to have to put all of your information together anyway. So what you could do is you could create a document, share the document with everyone so that they can put in their own information. That's up to you guys, right? It's up to you. Whatever way you want to go about it. If you're having problems creating the table, let me know, and I'll do my best to help as well. Anyone else have any questions?
No.
Nope.
All right, okay, cool. I'll get Miss Yen this PowerPoint straight away, so you can get set. You can start working immediately. Okay, everyone.
Bye-bye.